This was unintentional. Before this review, I've been mixing things up, and I'm only using one light today. So I present to you contrasts. Shadow, light. Whoo! Oh yeah, we're talking about superheroes. Forgot. We're not talking about film school. On to the review. Hello everybody, welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host, John Maffio, and today's featured movie is Avengers: Age of Ultron, directed by Joss Whedon, starring a plethora of actors: Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Colby Smulders, Samuel L. Jackson, Jeremy Renner. Who am I missing? Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver. We got Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. And finally, we have the big baddie of the movie, James Spader, playing Ultron. The story can get a little complicated, and it really helps if you've seen the rest of the MCU film universe movies that have led up to this point. But Tony Stark has been trying to create an artificial intelligence that can create peace on Earth. And to acquire peace, he has to create something called the Ultron Project. And it works, but with the birth of Ultron also births the idea of peace not exactly being achieved the way that the Avengers think. Ultron thinks it can be achieved with the death of the human race. So the Avengers have to stop Ultron from letting that happen. Avengers: Age of Ultron is a very worthy successor to the original Avengers, and it's a very worthy film in the MCU that continues to just pull out quality movies. It's really unprecedented how incredible Marvel has been with this whole franchise. They're doing this thing where they're going up a hill, and I'm really scared for the moment where they're going to start declining. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon with their current slate. The movie is not on a level of milestones and achievements that the first film was, and for many reasons, but at the same time, it's a movie that builds and expands and explores our characters, the universe, and beyond. It's got moments of brilliance that could not have been achieved with the first film, but it also has moments that were disappointing in ways. You can go into this film as a person who is not familiar with the universe and still have a good time. However, there may be a little bit more of a learning curve this time than with the last movie, because there's a lot more terminology going on here, a lot more setting up for things to happen in the universe to follow. And there's a lot of characters here that you may not recognize. A lot of characters coming in and out. Ultimately, they do serve the story right. There are a couple scenes that do feel out of place, and they feel like they're only there just to set up future films. But even so, it's still entertaining, and it is moving the plot along. It's all about how can they tear the Avengers apart, because the whole first movie was about them assembling. Now we gotta have some struggles. You have to have some hardships. You have to have things happen to these characters that make the stakes higher. It hits you in places you may not expect for a sequel to the Avengers. Hawkeye is actually like the main character in this movie. His role to this film's plot is critical. If you thought the action in the first film was on a level of holy shittery, well, then this one is above that. They take that level of awesomeness and crank it up to 11. It's really crazy, and you may be terrified that you will become numb to this and start to be bored by the action because it's just so awesome that eventually you'd be like, okay, I've seen this before, it's done. But no, they keep Joss Whedon and crew add things to this movie from the first to the second to the third act that surprise you. There is so much to say about Avengers: Age of Ultron. There's so much going on in the story. There's so much going on in general. It may be too much for a person to chew in 2.5 hours. It may be a little jarring, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, the action is spectacular. The interactions between characters is just as clever and witty as ever, and so funny. There are some moments that are great. You may not expect certain characters to have the spotlight, but they do. And just seeing everything unfold on screen from beginning to end is just a blast. I can't wait to see it again. Not going to take everything in right away. They're going to probably miss a few things the first time, because a lot of things happen in this movie. It's like a train just speeding by, and you can't blink because something's happening every second in this movie. It's awesome. I'm going to save more details for a spoiler-filled review where I can actually discuss things that happen in the movie. But I just don't want to spoil anything. I want you to go and have fun and be surprised. But Age of Ultron is a very good movie. Is it up there with the sequels of greats? I can't quite say yet. I need to see the movie a couple more times. But I could definitely say it's a fun time, and it's a quality film, and it demands your attention. The movie is going to be talked about everywhere. You should see it. It is to be enjoyed on multiple levels. This is a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a darn good movie. There's no strings on him. I just said that completely wrong. I want to know from you guys for the moment, if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, go now. But if you have, what did you think of Avengers Age of Ultron? How would you rank it with the rest of the Marvel films? And would you say it's better or worse or just on equal terms with the original Avengers movie? Let's have a discussion. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss a video from me ever again. Also, check out Facebook and Twitter in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.